Hi guys, welcome back to my stream. Let's just adjust this really quickly. Yes, hey everyone, welcome back. So good to see you all here, and I'm excited to be back. My family just left today, and it was very tough to say goodbye, but I am excited to be streaming again. So welcome everyone. Oh, and Megan J, hi. Love the ones in the chat. Hi everyone. Today we are going to be someone said, get out of here, family. It's stream time. We are going to be reacting to the most twisted case you've ever heard by Explore With Us Crime Storytime. And I just thought it's funny because they have a few videos with that same title, The Most Twisted Case You've Ever Heard.
How the peeps
Yeah,
doing?
that's what we're doing. I didn't open the video.
Alright, missed you guys. Now let's watch
Just
some
to give
fucked
you,
up shit.
just to give you guys a heads up of what to expect today. Also on the list of what to expect, AB's just finishing up some work now, but if he finishes earlier, if he finishes soon, we're gonna stream together.
What's up, gang?
Bend down a little so they can see you.
Hi, missed you guys.
Hi, AB Torso.
Dude, that time flew by with the family. It was really hard telling them goodbye.
Yeah.
And I came home before Lena because I wanted to clean up any of their stuff so that she didn't see it and get sad.
But then we saw this.
But yes, this is where my story was leading. I found this, and this messed me up. This made me so sad. Our nephew. Oh, Derek, thank you for 5 gifted.
Derek, thank you so much for
Thank
5 gifted
you.
subs.
Queen and King are back. Thank you, Derek. You the king. Sun-kissed hair, Amy? Dude, my hair, literally from this being out in the sun, is like, I don't even know. But yeah, please look at him.
My nephew
Can't
short.
really see right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so tiny. He was so nice to have. All of them were so nice to have here. And it flew by too fast. Can you tell us your most worn Teddy Fresh items? Can you, AB? He said, got a blast. Maybe next time I'll prepare it because I'd have to go through my closet right now and I don't want you guys to just be bored watching me. My skincare routine. Thanks so much. A lot of people have been asking lately, and actually, I just, I mean, after Accutane, like, I really haven't had to do much with skincare. Yeah, I guess that's about it. I recently started reaching out to my little cousins because you guys inspired me to be a better influence. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah, the whole time they were here, I kept just trying to like enjoy the time with them because I knew it was gonna fly by so fast. And AB said something too, and it got me so sad all over again. He was saying when he was saying bye to my nephew, he's like, "You're gonna look so different next. You're gonna be a different person next time we see you." And that's when it hit me. I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah," because he's so like small, and every time we see him, he's changed. But yes, they do. They grow so fast. Another nice thing over the weekend, AB played some like home videos he recorded over the years, just like from our Christmases and all of that, and seeing like all of us, like the whole family and them, and how much we've all changed over the years. That was so fun to watch, and we were all just like laughing the whole time. So stoked you guys got time with your fam. Thank you. It was a really good time. But now I'm just sad they're gone again. And it probably won't be like another 6 months maybe for us to see them. My niece lives down in LA and I live in the Bay Area. It's closer, but they grow so fast and it's so hard to say bye. Yeah, that's true. Because like, especially we were seeing them like every single day before we moved. And then like in the videos AB was showing us, he had one video of like the day that we left and seeing like how small, like my nephew Zane, he was like a baby when we left and he's 3 now. So it's so weird. I'm like, I forgot like he was that small when we left. And so it just sucks. I don't get to see him every day like I did with the girls when they were growing up. Christabel, thank you so much for the subby. 6 months already. No, they didn't feel the earthquake, but yeah, that sucked so much. Like one of the days they were here, like we didn't get to do anything. We just had to stay indoors because of the hurricane warning. But the earthquake we did not feel. But it is good to be back. Okay, so this is called The Most Twisted Case You've Ever Heard by Explore With Us Crime Storytime.
I finally made someone pay for all the that I've been through. I ordered a pizza, I bought a beer, and so I took my blood pizza because somebody died for me to
What?
get a beer. And so I took my blood pizza because somebody died for me to get this pizza. I enjoyed every day about it, and I really did. My only regret is that I hadn't killed 30 more sons of later.
Okay. It's going to be twisted. They weren't kidding. What could they even have meant by the blood pizza? Someone died for them to get that pizza? How sad is that?
Located in the Orlando, Florida metropolitan area, the idyllic suburb of Winter Park is an affluent city, including the Park Avenue district. Among residents of the exclusive area were Reed Berman and his son Oliver. Reed, a successful commercial real estate executive, had a very demanding schedule. His salvation came in the form of an assistant who served as both nanny and house manager. Her name was Jennifer Fulford, and she'd worked for him somewhere between 6 and 7 years. She was extremely reliable, and she did a wonderful job ensuring everything within the household was taken care of. To top it all off, she was said to be an exceptionally kind soul. The morning of September 27th, 2017, had all the makings of a normal Wednesday, but it would quickly turn tragic. Jennifer and Oliver headed out on their commute to school around 7:15 or 7:20, and when Jennifer returned to the residence afterward, she and Reed briefly discussed the day's agenda. Jennifer
Oh, actual case photos. I guess this is his actual house.
had a dental appointment scheduled for 9 o'clock.
Oh my god, I forgot to tell you guys. What I got. We could just notice because you guys are saying, you guys are kind of stuck on the blood pizza. And do they also have sweat and tears pizza? Now that's a pizza curse. Look what I got. I found out that it does. The proceeds go to from this book go to the victims' families. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this book. I was just curious. Like you guys. And I haven't even like it arrived the day my family got here too, so I haven't really looked at it or brought it out because I didn't want my nieces to see this and be like, think I'm a weirdo. But this is Cooking with the Serial Killer, recipes from Dorothea Puente. Let's cook some recipes. I don't know about that. I haven't even like looked inside, honestly. Like this is the first time. Oh. From the author. Oh my god. Okay. Dorothea's been accused of a lot of things. Is it not an autobiography? Okay, whatever. Dorothea's been accused of a lot of things, but being a bad cook isn't one of them. I was first introduced to her after a good buddy sent me some greeting cards Dorothea had done. We're talking about a serial killer, mind you. Impressed with the art, I wrote her to see if she was willing to do some custom greeting cards, and in the meantime I scrambled to find out more. I read a couple of books and did some research, but all I came up with was hunger pains. You see, Dorothea ran a boarding house, Sacramento, California, and the care she provided was above and beyond other care providers. Okay. Every Tuesday and Thursday for almost 3 years, I took Dorothea's collect calls from prison. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like clockwork, I'd get letters and other gifts from Thea through the mail. While you're holding here is 3 years of my life. You might ask if I learned anything in all the time spent with such a complex mind. And the first thing that comes to mind, I know how to make a mean salsa today. How insensitive. Why am I all darked up like this? You might be a serial killer, makes a killer cereal. You could read it and then re-gift it to Sam. That's funny. Maybe you can bake them and pass some goodies out to home. Oh my god, and balance out the evil. That's not on me to do. That's on Dorothea to do. Okay. It says Dorothea is currently serving a life sentence for 3 out of 9 murders. Find out more about Dorothea's case, her artwork. Okay. That's weird. This is just so strange. Oh no. Okay, now this is actually from Dorothea. To the readers of this book, thank you for buying my cookbook. Some of these were made up when I watched my mom and grandmother cooking when I was 5 to 7 years old. Each was a wonderful cook in their own right. In my young preteen days, everything was made from scratch. Blah blah blah. Did she say anything about being a killer? That's if you worked. No, she didn't say anything about it. Yeah. And then after that, it just divided. Like snacks and sauces. Chipotle ketchup. Dorothea's fresh tomato sauce. Knowing the context, this is just so weird. On the side. Oh, what's... I used to cook for 100 people 3 times a day. It was no bother. And when I had the restaurant, I would cook for 300 or 400 at a meal. I don't get what's the deal with this artwork on this page. It's like a fingerprint. These recipes are to die for. That's what she could have called this book. Oh, there's a statement about it on the back. Look, it's like a little sticker of her face. That's so weird. And it says, none of them were murdered. They died of natural causes. I couldn't do that anyhow. I'm not that type of person. I'm too caring and I worry too much about my people eating. Everybody can tell you that. Why would I spend money fattening them up if I was going to kill them? That is so insane. Becoming a winner. Okay, and then the Sun also said this. Grandmotherly Dorothea Puente is becoming as renowned for her cooking as for being a notorious mass murder. And they decided to use that for like promo on the book. Oh, okay, yes. The Infinite Worm said she'd kill elderly people by ODing them on drugs in boarding homes and then steal their social security checks and jewelry. Thank you, Frankie. I missed that stream or what we're talking about and who this killer is. So she never actually admitted to it. She was found guilty, but I mean, there was just so much evidence, and not to mention the fact that she went to jail before for doing that same thing. For not for killing, but for fraudulent checks that are made out to other people. She was cashing them in as her own. And then she violated her parole by opening that boarding house, and she only took in like vulnerable people. She fed them poison. She gave them some kind of drug. I forgot which one it was, but it was like a prescription drug to make them sleep. And like I think with mixed with alcohol, it was like a deadly kind of deadly thing. Anyways. That's not funny. I'm sorry. Hypercept, that's so true. They said she's like the opposite side of the spectrum of that lady who just got life in prison for killing newborns. That is so true and so sad. Yeah, and that's the lady who buried them in her backyard. So we're talking about Dorothea again. And that's the thing, like so many bodies came up there, and so they think like maybe she had an accomplice, but to this day, none was ever found. Because she couldn't have done it herself. She would kill them in the room upstairs, and then somehow took their body from upstairs and then buried in the backyard. I should watch Sins of Our Mothers on Netflix. Okay, maybe I should. Yeah, I don't know why people are this sick. Okay. But my family visit was nice. Thank you to everyone who's just coming in and asking. I appreciate it. It was a really nice time. So I don't know. Let me know what you think we should do with this book. Attempt a recipe, or is that too insensitive? Back to this. The most twisted case you've ever heard.
Then she'd meet with an art framer at the residence shortly thereafter. Other than that, it was business as usual, and she'd perform her maintenance tasks at the Berman home, then pick Oliver up from school at 3:30. As for Reed, he was on his way to a breakfast meeting. They said a quick goodbye, and though nothing seemed out of the ordinary, things were about to take a terrible turn. The first indication that something was off came in the form of a phone call from Oliver's school at 4 o'clock that afternoon. Reed was informed that Jennifer had failed to pick up his son upon dismissal. Though he tried, Reed was unable to reach Jennifer on her cell phone. It seemed it had been powered off. He picked Oliver up, and the pair returned home around 5 o'clock. Upon entry, the house was eerily quiet. Jennifer was nowhere to be found. What Reed did find, however, was quite peculiar. There sat Jennifer's purse right beside the toilet of one of the downstairs bathrooms. He noticed that the seat had been left up too. This was unusual considering he and Oliver rarely used that particular restroom. An inspection of the contents of Jennifer's purse was suspicious. Her wallet, cell phone, credit cards, and driver's license were missing. Her vehicle, a 2015 Hyundai Santa Fe, was nowhere to be found. At that point, Reed contacted law enforcement. However, it wasn't until approximately 6:25 that he made the call.
What do we think? No, that guy they showed in the beginning can't be Reed. For some reason, they blurred out Reed's photo when they showed us who he was, or when they first talked about him. But then that person who was being interrogated in the beginning, or maybe we'd even see him. I think it was just a voice. I don't know. We'll see.
And the reason behind the delay is unknown.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
suspicious.
a Winter Park officer was quickly dispatched
Where's the pizza? We're gonna find
to
out.
his home. Reed shared what information he had with the officer. The last time he'd communicated with Jennifer had been through a text message he'd received from her a little after 11 o'clock that morning. Interestingly so, Reed had no contact information for Jennifer's husband, Robert. However, officers managed to locate him at the home he and Jennifer shared, somewhere around 7 p.m. He stated that he hadn't recently seen or spoken with Jennifer. He explained that she had an upcoming trip scheduled to visit her son and newborn granddaughter in Dallas, Texas, but wasn't due to depart until the evening of the following day. Even more troubling was the fact that neither Jennifer's children nor any of her close friends had seen or heard from her. It seemed that Jennifer had simply vanished. That very evening, Robert examined bank records in hopes of uncovering something that could aid in the investigation. As expected, he found a record of payment to Jennifer's dental office at 10:08 that morning. However, it was the transaction that followed that gave Robert pause. A Wells Fargo ATM was visited at 12:10 that afternoon, and a withdrawal of $300, the maximum amount allowed, occurred. According to Robert, the idea of Jennifer having withdrawn the funds was completely unlikely, or at least he thought so. Then a development came in the form of a realization that Jennifer's vehicle happened to be equipped with a service known as Blue Link,
They can find
which
her?
allows Hyundai drivers to remotely access their vehicles using their smartphones. It was the hope Jennifer's SUV could be located with help from the system. But it was soon discovered that the vehicle was still registered under previous owners, and thus the account was inactive.
Oh my god, that sucks. That sucks so bad. Like I have a Jeep app on my phone that does stuff like that, and also so you can control it like without being next to it or having your keys. And anytime I happen to not have my keys, and I'm just like, I mean I have the app, but I think I'm like not signed in or something, and I forgot the login info, and I keep telling myself, oh my god, I need to remember to log in, because what if something like this happens? Not like if I go missing, but what if one time I actually need it, like I lost my keys or something, and I'm gonna regret it so bad. I have to remember to do that.
When business hours resumed
It
the
does sound very useful.
following morning, Robert frantically completed necessary paperwork in order to have the system reactivated. And upon completion, Detective Dawes, who was one of several working the high-profile case, would be notified with any available data pertaining to the vehicle's whereabouts. Also that morning, the lead and assistant detectives paid a visit to Reed in order to conduct an interview. Reed led the detectives through his sizable home and showed them everything that seemed out of place or suspicious. He explained the details surrounding the unusual location of Jennifer's abandoned purse. Strangely enough, Reed hadn't noticed anything to be missing within the home, at least not yet.
Why do people have pools if they let them get green and gross? I think it happens like very easily. Just like with weather, or leaves falling, or like if any kind of equipment in the pool goes like is not working, it gets greened so easily. And if it's not like constantly being maintained.
He hadn't found any sign of forced entry either. The previous evening, when he and Oliver had arrived home, the front door was locked, and according to Reed, whoever locked it clearly had a key. He also noted that it seemed Jennifer hadn't had a chance to complete her cleaning tasks.
That's how he knew that. Also, that was another sign that something was fishy. She hadn't completed her cleaning tasks. Oh my god, so this lady, their assistant, the home manager, and she does the cleaning too, but I guess maybe that falls in line with like home manager or whatever. I don't know.
His bed remained unmade, and days later, he'd come to realize his comforter was missing. Trash bags littered the kitchen floor. It was as if Jennifer had been interrupted somewhere in the middle of her duties. Still, Reed was able to provide some extremely crucial information. He reviewed his alarm system activations for the previous day with the detectives. Initially, there was no sign that anything out of the ordinary had occurred.
I went out this way. It's by 8:30.
When you say this way, meaning the back.
Yeah, my car's.
Yeah, where the garage.
Yeah, I leave.
Oh my god, Reed's voice is kind of scary. Are we suspecting him?
The door opens, and now.
I mean, not just because of his voice, but also the way they're narrating the story. They're kind of alluding to maybe Reed had some involvement, or the way they're describing it, at least. How we don't know why, but it took him an hour. It was an hour and a half before he called the police, or something like what they said about how long Jennifer has been working for him, and how long and how much she does for him, but he doesn't know like Robert, her husband's, contact info. Ada, thank you for the subby.
She's got to go to her 9 o'clock. It's 8:43. The door opens.
Mhm.
She goes to the dentist. She comes home at about 10:35. Between 10:30 and 11:32.
Spouse is always a suspect. Well, yeah, Reed is not the spouse, so Reed is her boss. And her boss did not know anything about her spouse, or like how to reach him.
There's no
Someone said, this is gonna be twisted.
penetration of anything, okay? So I'm just
Not
assuming
funny.
she's
It's
here
not funny.
cleaning.
This is real life.
However, a series of activations occurred thereafter, and they told an unsettling story.
Then the door opens but doesn't close.
Again,
Oh, what's
However, a series of activations occurred thereafter, and they told an unsettling story.
Then the door opens but doesn't close.
again, the front door we're talking
Yeah.
Oh
about.
my god, are they gonna show us actual footage of this?
At 11:47.
Okay.
15 minutes after she comes home, it opens, but it doesn't close. Then 3 minutes later, the master bedroom is motion activated.
Mm-hmm.
11:53, 3
I can't even see what's going on, and I'm so spooked by this.
minutes later, it's I. It goes out. Then 1 minute later, the front door, it's right out the front door.
And what time is that? What's the time?
11:54.
11:54. And that's the last you've seen of, I guess, the door opening and closing till
It doesn't open up till 4:58 when I come home.
and the back door
Yeah.
from the garage.
Yeah.
Detectives gathered additional crucial information from Reed.
Can we get, one thing we do need, you said she had a card, you allowed her to have one of your credit cards, we need that number and that bank name.
Yeah.
If we can get that, that'd be great. Was it a debit card that she carried, or was it a credit card?
It was a debit card.
Okay.
She used it for household expenses.
Was
It
it?
was from the bank that you banked with?
Yes.
That's on the, okay, what bank is that?
It's Valley National.
Now, was she on the account too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There's been no activity on this card.
The detective reviewed Reed's activities that occurred the previous day.
Yesterday, you had an 8 o'clock meeting, I ran a little bit late. Saw her. And that was at the, water park night or winter center, is that one and the same? And that was at 8:30, okay. And then at 3:30, right? You had another visit.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, and that was where?
On New England.
Do you know whereabouts is? Because we have cameras and everything, and we're just trying to eliminate everything. Now we
I think
can't.
it's for, but, and I was at my
Can someone explain briefly what we are watching? It seems the food is here. So just very briefly, this woman, Jennifer, has gone missing. She works at this home. She's an assistant to this guy, Reed, and also she manages the home. And I guess just does like other tasks for him. But anyway, she has just gone missing. And Reed, in order to help the police, is reviewing the security camera footage and mentioning all of the weird things that he discovered on the day that she went missing. But yeah, that's her boss talking. I'm gonna put it on the other side. It's easier.
Are you working out this weekend?
Yeah, 35 kilos.
Oh, you do?
Wow.
Okay.
While at Reed's property, detectives collected a buccal swab from him in order to produce a sample of his DNA. Though it would appear to be a routine process, seeing how Reed was one of those closest to Jennifer, perhaps there was something more behind the request than just standard procedure.
All right. The other thing was that I believe it was Detective
Oh my god,
Weinreich.
that looks so good. Look at this. Is this boss suspicious? So far, maybe the narrator is kind of alluding to it, I think. Plus, they titled this the most twisted case you've ever heard. So I feel like maybe they're going to do like a flip on us and be like, it was him. This is fish and a baked potato. I think this was this mahi mahi. Doesn't it look so good? Yeah, the baked potato kind of looks like mashed potatoes. Is that why they call it twice baked? Thought it was sushi. No, not this time. Oh my. Oh. I just need a fork, please, when you get. No, I have water. It looks really good. I don't even know what it is. Oh, they bake it, take out the inside, add stuff, and bake it again. Okay. That makes sense. What will me and AB be for Halloween? I'm not sure.
Does look.
Thank you. I agree. Some places do that to be fancy. Okay. Let's see what happened with Jennifer.
I asked you about earlier was if you were aware of her having any male friends.
And if you knew Jen, she's a really up person. I mean, she'd come at 6:30, and man, she'd have it turned on like, hey, Alvin, and they would do this thing. I mean, she was just fantastic.
Outgoing personality.
Okay. So she wanted to go out. Like I bought her tickets to, she loved Barbara Streisand.
Oh, yeah.
So I got her as a gift, Barbara Streisand tickets to Tampa. And she liked to go to concerts and stuff like that.
Though Jen was a lively person who enjoyed good times with friends, Reed didn't think she was the type to run off and leave everything behind. Though there was one thing.
You mentioned something earlier about the Enzian. There's a bar there, and you say that she'd go there.
Well, my friend, when we were talking about it last night,
Right.
we were trying to figure out, like, we were going, okay.
Oh, sorry.
How could this happen?
Right.
We didn't think worst case scenario. We just thought maybe she went out, had drinks with her girlfriend, and maybe she had a little too many, and then it was just unusual that she would have done something like this. But my friend did say that he's seen her at the Enzion after work, after leaving here with her girlfriend. I don't know any of her girlfriends or whatever, but she liked to have a cocktail with her girlfriend. I had no idea that she ever even went to Enzion, but he said that's occasionally where she would hang out.
This friend of yours, we may need to talk to him. Can you give me his name?
Sure.
Anything will help.
Yeah. Can I just ask you a question?
Sure.
They haven't found her body or...
Oh, no.
Oh, he is so... Okay, no, I can't say that. I can't speak so absolutely. But Reed is sounding more and more suspicious. What kind of question is that? They haven't found her body or anything. Her body? Like what? Like she's dead already?
Sure.
They haven't found her body or...
Oh, no, we haven't found her yet. So that's why we're keeping up hope.
Yeah, been like a boyfriend or something and they took off.
We don't know, and that's what we're trying to find out.
Detectives had to probe all of the possibilities in order to ensure a thorough investigation, regardless of potential viability of each theory. They explored the idea of whether Jennifer had grown so tired of her routine that she'd left everything behind in search of a new life. Of course, it didn't seem at all likely that someone as reliable as Jennifer would do such a thing, especially considering the fact that she was due to be in Texas, spending time with her newborn granddaughter on that very night. Suddenly, a shocking development landed in the laps of law enforcement. And if detectives had any suspicion of Reed prior to the finding, or if they'd surmised that Jennifer had left on a whim, All of that instantly dissolved with word of the discovery. Surveillance footage had been obtained from the Wells Fargo ATM, where the $300 withdrawal had occurred the previous afternoon. The time was 12:10 p.m., roughly 15 minutes after the last activation of Reed's alarm system at a location less than a mile from the residence. Though they expected to see Jennifer, what they found instead
Oh my god, why am I worried?
was shocking. Video showed a mysterious man stationed at the ATM. He appeared to be middle-aged and was wearing eyeglasses, a white t-shirt, light-colored shorts, and bright blue tennis shoes. He had a white towel draped around his neck, and his hair was pulled back in a ponytail. On his left
Could that be Reed? Because they didn't show us Reed yet.
wrist was a watch with a distinctive plaid band. Reed was shown images of the man and the unique watch, but neither were familiar to him. Apparently, the man had later returned to the same ATM at 4:33 that afternoon in what proved to be an unsuccessful attempt to withdraw more funds from Jennifer's account. This time, however, he was dressed in
Oh my god, he's so creepy.
different attire. He wore a dark-colored baseball cap along with what appeared to be a dark-colored jacket. His white t-shirt bore the logo Workout 32789, the numerals representing the zip code of Winter Park. In addition to the clothing change, another difference in the man's appearance was noted. This one, however, was chilling.
No.
The
It's gonna be bloods. Blood. It's gonna be blood.
surfaces of his hands clearly exhibited multiple fresh cuts and wounds. When shown images from this ATM visit, Reed recognized the t-shirt. In fact, he stated that he owned one that was very similar to it. Upon inspection, it didn't appear to Reed that his bedroom closet or dresser drawers had been rifled through. However, this would come up later in the investigation. Detectives were able to track down Jennifer's contact, Janet Grimm, who'd been scheduled to deliver the framed art the previous day. Jennifer had texted
Huh? The bread?
Janet at 10:18, stating that she'd be back at the residence in less than 10 minutes. Not long after this time, Janet stated she'd missed multiple calls from Jennifer's number. At 11:33, Janet picked up a call, and on the other end was Jennifer, who Janet could only describe as totally panicked. Jennifer stated she'd have to cancel the appointment.
I just wanted to show you guys AB because I don't know why seeing him eat alone like this just made me sad. You want me to sit with you? Your house is so nice, thank you. They said you eating good, big dog? What are you eating, AB? Careful. Well, it's already what I know you guys are all going to say to me. Lonely kid in the cafeteria vibes. I know. I don't know why it just made me so sad looking at him. You made him eat dinner alone like Steven Glansberg. AB always say that line too from the movie. They do. Well, they do. Do not underestimate. Lena, I didn't think you'd read that. I hope he's actually enjoying that. Yeah, he looks like he is, so. Oh, yeah, yeah. He claims this garlic bread is really good. Oh my god, that is so good. That is really good. It's very garlicky though. Let me grab another napkin.
as the school had just called and she had to pick Oliver up right away. Naturally, Janet found the conversation odd. She attempted to reach Jennifer on her cell phone approximately an hour later, but there was no answer. Evidence was beginning to mount. Also, on September 28th, Jennifer's SUV was located less than 5 miles from Reed's home in the parking lot of a public supermarket. The vehicle was processed for evidence the following day, on September 29th, 2 days after Jennifer vanished, and each finding was more grim than that which came before. A beer bottle was found in the front center console. According to Robert, Jennifer would never drink on the job. There was no doubt in his mind that the bottle did not belong to her. A tan canvas bag had been placed on the front passenger floorboard. Inside the bag were a white t-shirt, a white towel, and a men's watch with a distinctive plaid watch band. Worst of all was the revelation that each item appeared to be stained with blood. The items clearly matched those the man was seen wearing on ATM footage from the first transaction 2 days prior, before the wounds to his hands had appeared. Word of a third unauthorized ATM transaction came on September 29th, but the
So did this guy attack her just to steal money from her?
location wasn't even remotely near Winter Park. It was in Jacksonville, Florida, where a $100 withdrawal occurred, approximately 140 miles north of Reed's home. A sworn statement via phone was recorded between Robert Fulford and a Winter Park detective that same evening.
Did anyone have permission or authorization from you to withdraw that cash? No. Okay. And in regards to that transaction, would you like to press charges, if applicable, to anyone for criminal charges? Yes, I would.
The most recent
Obviously, especially because it seems like this person who's ever doing these transactions and withdrawals is whoever did something to his wife.
ATM activity cited in the statement was a major turning point in the investigation. It led detectives to contact the Winter Park Amtrak station, where they were able to get their hands on some critical information. On the afternoon of September 27th, a train ticket was purchased at 4:52 p.m., the destination being none other than the city of Jacksonville. And as luck would have it, there was only one passenger aboard that train. With this information, law enforcement had what they believed to be the name of a previously unidentified individual. His images had been plastered all over the media in an attempt to put a name to the menacing face.
It is a menacing face. I was just gonna say, he looks so creepy.
He was a 53-year-old man by the name of Scott Nelson, and a background check indicated that he was extremely dangerous and had an extensive rap sheet. Furthermore, Scott was currently on federal probation for armed robbery. Hope that Jennifer would be found safe was beginning to dwindle. The following day brought with it the much-dreaded, terribly devastating news.
Oh, the body.
Just 3 days after Jennifer was last seen, the worst-case scenario had become a nightmarish reality. Jennifer's cell phone had been pinging off a cell tower located near a heavily wooded area of Orlando. Somewhere around noon, with assistance from the Orange County Sheriff's Office Aviation Unit, Jennifer's body was located. The gruesome discovery conveyed that the last moments of Jennifer's life had been absolutely hellish.
Oh,
But the
no.
true magnitude of the horror wouldn't be exposed until later. The merciless nature of the killing
The music makes it feel like he's behind me. They are doing a very good job with the music. It's like a scary movie or something.
further motivated local law enforcement and U.S. Marshals, who'd been enlisted to assist with the investigation, to locate Scott Nelson. And it wouldn't take long. The day after Jennifer's battered and discarded body was found, the suspected murderer also turned up. It was shortly after 4 p.m. on October 1st that Scott was located at the Sunshine Inn Motel in Jacksonville, just a half-mile trek from where the local Amtrak station had dropped him off. Initially, it was anyone's guess as to how the
Huh? This? Oh, yeah. Thanks.
apprehension was going to play out. Law enforcement was aware that Scott didn't have a lot to lose. That, paired with his violent nature, could be a recipe for absolute disaster. The showdown began with Scott's refusal when ordered to exit his room, but it proved to be short-lived and Scott was taken into custody without incident. However, the investigation had essentially just begun. A couple hours after his apprehension, the suspect had landed himself in an interrogation room. The following never-before-seen footage has been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed attorney, a licensed clinical psychologist, and a licensed professional counselor.
Very kind of you. Thank you.
There's going to be a little bit of architecture want to read. Sure. So if you need to use the restroom or anything like that, don't hesitate to knock on the door.
Rael thinks the narrator's voice is disrespectful. That's obviously not his natural voice. Trying to make it scary seems disrespectful, but that hadn't occurred to me. I feel like that's just like his normal voice, but I guess like he's kind of explaining it in like a storytelling kind of way. I don't know. That does sound like his natural voice to me.
Or I'll be right on the other side, okay?
Okay, thank you.
It's going to be longer than a little bit, as the detective described. The Winter Park detectives have the 140-mile trek to make up to Jacksonville. And as you can see, the extended wait time is starting to wear on Scott, approximately 2.5 hours in.
Oh, I gotta piss.
Scott is
Stammer, thank you
granted
for
his
the subbing.
restroom break, but upon his return, he'll still have an hour to wait. Finally, detectives have arrived at their destination, and they start by providing Scott with a warm welcome.
All right, thanks.
You got water? You okay? I could use something to eat. I need something. Hungry? I'm starving. I'm dizzy. I'm so hungry.
Okay. We'll get you some.
Okay.
So there's
Does he not know what he's
see if I
there
can grab
for? What a weirdo.
Sorry. What's going on? Sorry for being hungry. Thanks. Oh man, that's not a problem. You doing okay? Yeah. Hungry, huh? Yeah, starving. What do you like to eat? Oh, God, anything. Anything? Oh, God. I'm not too fussy.
You got something?
Oh, that's fine.
Energy up here.
That's good. Good. I'm
Is
good.
it pizza flavor? No.
The detective is trying to establish rapport with the suspect by asking about normal, everyday things to establish a relationship and be friendly with him.
Oh, no, I'm good.
They always say that, but is that one of the read techniques that they talk about?
What you guys?
All right, Scott. So we'd like to talk to you about, and I'm sure you probably have a million questions too. So
Yeah.
The detective states that they have to go over his Miranda rights since he's in custody. He also swears in Nelson. This is not a court or official judicial proceeding, but perhaps an interrogation tactic to emphasize the desire for truthful answers. After Scott has confirmed that he understands the process, the detectives proceed to question him on his background, which is the basic baseline and rapport building of the interview process.
married?
No.
Okay. Hey, ever close?
Nope.
No, no divorce or anything. Huh?
No.
Hey, you're a lucky one. Children?
No children.
Siblings? Brothers? Sisters?
Yeah, I have a couple brothers.
Thanks, guys. Don't give me too much credit. They say that in like basically all of these videos at the start of the interrogation.
Couple brothers? Okay, older. So you're the youngest, huh?
Yes.
After a little small talk, Scott is starting to grow impatient.
Can I ask you
Yeah,
something?
ask away. Go ahead.
I'm under arrest.
Yes. and
What
we
are-
can get
what are
into
my
that.
charges?
Okay. Right now we got some issues with some credit card use. Okay. So I'd like to go into that. All right.
And
Okay.
murder. Are they gonna say murder? Because this is after they found the body.
And say,
What credit card? Because I don't know.
so you don't own a credit card?
No.
Do you have a debit card? ATM card?
Trying to think. I think I do.
Okay.
Oh, the answer. Now you know.
What do you think you do?
You don't have to think
What-
about
What does
that.
that mean?
The question causes Scott to freeze in place, and he hesitates to answer, ultimately going for the evasive "I think" response. This is a red flag for deception. It's a simple yes or no question. Of course,
You think you're 40. Right,
Scott
Ilana?
doesn't want to provide any sort of answer here. The mere mention of a debit card likely set off alarm bells in his mind since he'd used Jennifer's debit card.
I don't have enough information. I mean, I
As I said, well, let's walk through it. Okay?
Sure, okay.
All right. Do you have any idea why you think you may be here at all?
No.
No. Okay. Well, let's go back a little bit. You were in Orlando last week?
Mhm.
Okay. How long had you been in Orlando for?
about 4 months.
4 months? Where were you before you got to Orlando?
Prison.
Okay, so you got out of prison, you came right to Orlando.
Yes.
Oh,
Were you in prison in Florida or were you in prison somewhere else?
Somewhere else. Federal.
What made you come to Orlando?
It's just where they assigned me to.
Oh, for probation?
Yeah,
Okay. So you're doing some federal probation time?
that's correct.
Okay. Where were you staying in Orlando?
With the mission,
Which one?
West Central.
The rescue mission over there? Right by the old police station?
Yes.
How'd you like the rescue mission? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, no one really wants to be there.
No. Now, were you working while you were in Orlando?
Yeah, I was working.
Old people have one and never use it and forget about it. But he doesn't seem like that type of old person. Like, it seems like he's able to function like normally and isn't the forgetful type.
For a painting business. It's in Winter Park.
What they have you doing?
Painting apartments.
Apartments? Like new apartments or old apartments, like refurbished or what?
Like the villages and
Okay.
some, pretty nice places.
Are you still employed with them?
No.
When did that stop?
A couple of weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago. What happened?
I'm just curious to know where this is all headed.
Well, that's what we're getting to.
Will I have an attorney coming in here?
That's totally up to you. You tell me. I mean,
Oh yeah, no problem.
what would you like?
I think since I've been arrested, I think I'd like an attorney present.
They're like, damn.
Scott is polite and formal in addressing the detectives, and he presents as confident when he expresses that he wants an attorney. Even if we didn't know of Scott's criminal history, it's evident that this isn't his first rodeo. He seems to know his rights and doesn't appear intimidated by the interview process. But just like that, after all that waiting, the conversation has come to a halt before it's really even gotten off the ground.
What happens? A lot of you also talking about his clothing choice. I didn't think anything of it prior. Some of you are saying H&M. He brought his own jumpsuit. He got it from Shein's prison line.
While Scott wasn't in the mood to talk on that particular night, it would only be a matter of time before he'd have a change.
I think the outfit is fine. It's like the shoes are the issue for me with that. It's not the top and the pants together. That's kind of like whatever, but the shoes.
Of heart, for lack of a better way to describe it. Because as you're about to hear, someone who could inflict such an agonizing death upon another is as heartless as they come. Truly evil, right down to the core. It was a month to the day of their initial meeting when Scott mailed a letter to one of the detectives, expressing his desire to speak with them about the investigation. A meeting was arranged and took place on November 13th, 2017 at the Federal Detention Center in Miami.
It's approximately 10:41 a.m. at FDC in Miami for an interview with Nelson.
This time around, Scott is so forthcoming the details are likely to turn the stomachs of even the most seasoned detectives. However, the most shocking element of all is his alleged motive. It's utterly unfathomable.
I thought it was just the money.
In the letter, and so I want to go over the letter with you. Like I told you last time, I know there's stuff you want to tell us, and we'll go from there. Okay.
The detective covers Scott's Miranda rights. Then the conversation begins.
What prompted you to write the letter?
Well, yeah, because of the conditions that they have me under. I'm treated very hard where the other inmates aren't. It's got to change. I mean, something has to change. It's quid pro quo. I mean, you guys have the answers that you need, and I have that information.
Essentially, Scott is admitting that he's willing to speak in order to gain better treatment for himself, not to help the victim's family or do the right thing. His motivation is self-centered and narcissistic. The detective is willing to listen to everything Scott wants to get off his chest.
So this is your show. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, for instance, I was on the streets for months and had nothing. I really had nowhere to go. I had nothing going for me. Really I'm trying to help you as well as help myself here. Well,
Sean said I'm spooked by this dude. Me too. I always think about that. Like, he looks so scary, and imagine like actually being the victim and being like attacked by this, that initial first shock, and it's like they look so scary, and it's happening to you in real life, and it's just, I don't know. I can't imagine being in a situation like that. I'd be so scared.
Life has really never been that easy for me. Do you know that I have a colostomy?
I did.
You do. Okay, so like the Bureau of Prisons, they wouldn't give me the reconnection. They wouldn't help me. I mean, things are just in the toilet and they're getting worse and worse and worse and worse for me. And it's not gonna stop until I'm either dead or something. They're not gonna stop. That's what.
We don't want to see that happen. I mean, I'll tell you right now.
No, I
don't want to see that happen.
I know the detective.
Scott continues to focus on himself as the victim in the situation and takes no accountability.
Oh my god, it does. It looks like Chuck from Better Call Saul. That's who it is. I keep saying he kind of looks, but in like in a scarier version, but still.
For what he's done.
As far as what created this whole thing to be, I was thrown to the street again, and I had nowhere to live. I'm completely broke, and I had been in Winter Park a few times. Okay, so it wasn't the first time I had been to Winter Park. What happened there was I noticed that it's a very affluent type of place. It is. Well, people have a lot of money and things like this, and they have a different lifestyle. Where 15 minutes away in Orlando, where I was living, people are dead ass broke. I wasn't particularly happy with this.
Quite the understatement we'll soon hear. It cut much deeper than that. It seems like Scott grew increasingly bitter and resentful as he took in the fact that he was struggling to survive, while there were large communities of people not far from the shelter where he lived that enjoyed an excess of comforts and luxuries. It's important to keep in mind that people with antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, have a firm belief that they deserve everything: status, money, luxury, and comforts, whether they've actually done anything to earn these things or not. Their sense of entitlement makes them believe that they deserve and should be able to possess all these things. This is why they justify committing violent crimes, because they're willing to do anything to try to obtain what they feel is rightfully theirs. It also seems that Scott
Why is he diagnosing? That's a good question. Maybe it's something that they found out about him later, like they mentioned at the trial or something. No one discussed in these videos
is highlighting
has been something diagnosed by EWU, and our psychological analysis is based on the general behaviors and traits of the people discussed. So yeah, they're diagnosing
social injustices, but ultimately, his beliefs seem to boil down to the fact that he thinks he's entitled to the same comforts that the residents of Winter Park enjoy. In addition, people with ASPD are extremely spiteful and vindictive. If they feel slighted by others, whether the offense is real or imagined, they will stop at nothing to get even. They won't feel satisfied until they have sought revenge. Oftentimes, their idea of getting even is retaliating in a manner that is far worse than whatever the original offense was.
I wonder how made him even target poor Jennifer. Like, why? How? My God, she seemed like such a hard-working woman. Like, how did this happen to her?
They don't believe in an eye for an eye. They believe in delivering a much harsher punishment than what was done to them. Scott states that he was released from prison that previous May and had been on the streets for about 4 months as the rage inside him continued to build.
I'm willing to help you people because I'm going to be found guilty even if I didn't say anything. You have enough forensic evidence to get capital murder on me right now anyway.
It's very possible that due to Scott facing such extreme adversities during his probation, including issues with health care and difficulty obtaining food, it's likely true that he didn't care if he was incarcerated for the rest of his life. It's an extremely dangerous scenario to have an ex-con feeling he has absolutely nothing to lose. His worst-case scenario was going to prison for life, but maybe this wasn't such a bad outcome when he looked at the harsh reality of his daily life while being out of prison. Scott described the terrible conditions he was subjected to in prison, but it seems that the realities of freedom weren't that much better. People can become so used to life on the inside that, when facing life on the outside, they lack the skills to function appropriately in society.
So I'm walking around Winter Park, and all these people, they have money, they have beautiful homes, beautiful families, cars, diamond rings, just driving their Mercedes and stuff. And I wanted to make it an example.
Scott explains that during the month of September, he stayed at an undisclosed location. He gives his account of one night in particular, as he sat in a picturesque gazebo of Winter Park.
I think they're going to describe now how it came to be Jennifer.
And it's very disturbing.
That's when, about 11 o'clock at night, that's when, in my mind, I officially died. Okay, I died. I was there.
Okay.
I died that night. Okay, I mean, it was
I'm sorry you got to that point, really.
and I'm in Winter Park. I'm surrounded by all this wealth. And here I am, right? I'm clean cut, I'm intelligent, I'm highly employable. I work like a dog, and I can't have nothing. I'm just dead.
It was that very night that Scott made up his mind. He devised a horrific plan, and he was going to carry it out.
I'm going to do a home invasion.
Okay.
So I knew that I was going to do that.
Okay.
I noticed this one house, and it was happening to be 5 o'clock. I'd say 5 o'clock in the afternoon on the 26th. And I see Jennifer getting out of a vehicle with a young boy.
Okay.
And they go into the house. And I could tell just by the way she was dressed that she was not the first thing I had in my head was she must be a house cleaner or something of that nature.
Okay.
But I wanted to make an example of Winter Park.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, be it evil, be whatever. That's what I was going to do.
It's ironic how Scott makes himself out to be the victim of the cycle of poverty and recidivism, but then he targets Jennifer, whom he admitted looked like a house cleaner to him. He claims to have a grudge against the affluent people of Winter Park, yet he targeted someone who he said himself was part of the working class,
Yeah, that is so
and
messed
not the
up. Like, what does she have to
affluent
do with any of
class.
this?
This highlights that his actions really had nothing to do with the injustices of the world, and everything to do with releasing his rage however he saw fit. One of the detectives poses the question we've all been asking ourselves.
Why'd you choose her to make an example?
Everything came about that mysterious month of September, where Scott has chosen not to disclose the location at which he was living.
For the month of September, I was living in a place, and there was a gentleman. Long story short, they had known Jennifer, and they had had an argument. That's how I knew about that house that she worked at.
Did he tell you to do what he did?
Well, yeah. He said, hey, killing her, he wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
Could it be Reed? Her boss has something to do with it?
But he leaves it at that and transitions straight to September 27th. And if Scott has been successful in garnering any sympathy from the detectives,
Because so far, this is twisted, but it's not like the most twisted case you've ever heard.
it's likely that every ounce of it will now dissipate after he recounts the terrifying events of Jennifer's last moments.
UPS.
Right.
Yeah, they had delivered a package.
Okay.
The guy delivered a package, and the minute he drove away, I went out and I rang the doorbell, and Jennifer answered it, and I said to her, I said, you know, they have a package on the doorstep here.
Sure.
And she said, yeah, I know. And she was looking at me a little odd, like, yeah, I'm like, who are you? Why are you telling me this? And that's when I pushed the door to go in and push it in. I went and shut the door, and she screamed.
Okay.
And she was,
Oh my god, it happened that fast. That fast for her. She just opened the door.
frightened.
Sure.
And I had a knife. So I told her to lay down on the floor, and then I bound her with some zip ties.
Okay.
I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just here for the money.
Okay.
And she was not very helpful with my needs.
This statement shows Scott's grandiosity and sense of entitlement, but this is also an example of victim blaming, something that individuals with antisocial personality disorder commonly engage in when they commit crimes and violate others.
I mean, here is an honest citizen, and she's probably never told many lies in her whole life.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, she runs into a bad guy, and now she wants to lie on her. Or whatever happened, you give the guy what he wants and let him leave. No.
Did that just make the situation worse?
Yeah, yes, it did. It made it a lot worse because I'm just trying to get some food, some money, and whatever.
Scott then explained that he felt Jennifer was purposely misleading him. She gave him the ATM card and PIN, but didn't disclose that she also had a debit card tied to Reed's personal bank account. She did, however, state that Reed had some expensive watches located in his bedroom.
So I went upstairs for a second. I got the brown comforter off the bed. I wrapped her in the brown comforter and put her in the back of her own vehicle.
Okay.
I loaded her up through the front door, and then I left. So she was in the back of the vehicle, and I left with her.
Okay.
I went to the ATM machine and I withdrew the $300.
Jennifer was absolutely terrified. She was trapped in a compact space wrapped tightly in a comforter and having difficulty breathing. As for Scott,
Then I went shopping. Kind of cold-blooded, isn't it?
You're showing the amount of compassion that you got shown is what it sounds like to me.
I'm not firing on all my cylinders, but the thing is, I mean, I have my faculties. I know the difference between right and wrong.
this is
Innocent boss, are we sure so far? I don't think they mentioned that. Because still they said that like there was those suspicions of the boss earlier. And then the way he targeted Jennifer is someone was talking to him about her. I don't know.
is one of the
I don't know.
confounding realities of individuals with antisocial
I feel like
personality
something
disorder.
crazy, like another big plot twist is gonna come up.
They are aware of right and wrong, but they don't care. Their own needs are always at the forefront of their thoughts, intentions, and actions.
What? Which? No, that was from Disney. I didn't post the other one yet. Why? Oh, awkward. I should post now.
I wanted to have the
Huh? I'm hearing things.
owner go to the bank to withdraw a large enough sum of money so that I could, abscond. And that didn't happen. So now we have Jennifer in the back of the vehicle, and I have $300, and now what do I do with her?
Right.
So now I'm driving, trying to find a place to find Jennifer, where I can put her. And she's telling me, throughout this whole experience, even in the house, she says, I'm really afraid you're going to kill me.
Right.
Please don't kill me.
Right.
In all reality, I'm having a hard time having compassion because I've been brutalized for so many years that I don't even know what compassion is anymore.
This could be a true statement. When people experience long-standing trauma, they can become numb and essentially void of any feeling or emotion. Alternately, those with antisocial tendencies tend to lack the capacity for emotion and connection to begin with, due to neurological differences. So it's possible that this has always been his version of normal.
It's the human condition. Absolutely. Her phone started ringing, stuff I just shut it off. So I finally found a place to put Jennifer.
Yet again, Scott confirms that the killing was completely premeditated. He details a purchase he made that consisted of items that would be used to murder an innocent person who happened to be in the wrong place at the worst possible time.
Purchased all that at Walmart.
Walmart?
Yeah.
How many days before?
I think perhaps a week before in Princeton Street.
Okay.
I purchased it with a check.
Scott's estimation was close, just off by a few days. He made the purchase at an Orlando Walmart the afternoon of September 16th, 11 days prior to when he carried out Jennifer's murder. This confirms that whether Jennifer cooperated with Scott's needs or not, he was going to murder her. There was nothing she could have done. Detectives met with asset protection officers at the Walmart just 3 days after the confession and saw it all on surveillance footage. Scott had purchased nearly $500 worth of items, including food, several cartons of cigarettes, and blue tennis shoes.
That's where the shoes came from. He got them from Walmart. I knew it. I told you guys those shoes were off. King Kong, thank you so much for the Prime subby.
And then there were the most incriminating items. A utility knife.
It was the boss too, or else why would he plan it? Or why would the boss want her? Yeah, I don't know. They still haven't mentioned about the boss, but I have a really bad feeling about this. Like, the narrator is alluding to it, and why would he do that if the boss is innocent?
With a green handle, a package of 18-inch cable ties, and a roll of duct tape. Please be forewarned that the following description may be too graphic for some viewers.
Okay, trigger warning. The narrator, I know all of this is kind of like triggering and really upsetting, but the narrator is saying himself. It might be too graphic for some of you. Okay, I will continue.
Scott eventually located a secluded, wooded area, and sadly, it seems Jennifer is well aware that there's no chance she'll make it out of the brutal attack alive.
So I got her out of the vehicle, and she started getting louder and louder, so I put some duct tape.
Could she breathe with the tape
Barely,
put on her face?
very little. She's pleading for her life.
Did you ever hit her in the head, or did she ever hit her head on the ground or anything like
The
that?
back of her head?
Yeah.
Yes, I punched her.
When?
prior to duct taping her up. I stabbed her 3 times that I didn't remember.
Remember where?
Yeah, once in the back, another time in the back, and then the third time I was walking away, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to let this testify against me because they're going to give me the same amount of time. So I killed her. I put one through her heart. She had put me away for the rest of my life anyway. So I mean, so I killed her, and she let out a gasp, and that was it. And she died.
Calling her a name is Scott's way of depersonalizing her. It's a distancing technique so that he doesn't have to see her as a person, even though she hasn't done anything to him but try to comply and survive.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that he's worried about seeing her. I don't think there's any way of him seeing her as a person. Like, how could someone do that? Also an illogical idiot. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Well, then what did you do after that? I drove back to the Publix.
Scott cleaned the blood off of himself and changed clothing in the men's restroom. It was then that he replaced his t-shirt with the Winter Park one, shown in the photos from his second visit to the ATM, which occurred that day. However, he wasn't able to mask the wounds he'd sustained on his hands as
Motive, though? Well, they mentioned earlier that he said he wanted to make an example out of the people of whatever city that was called. But he was upset with his economic situation, and he wanted to take it out on the wealthy people in the neighborhood, but I don't know why then he targeted this hardworking lady.
a result of the heavy brush he'd trudged through in the wooded area.
And I dropped the vehicle off, and I went back to the park to get my belongings.
Yeah, his motive was he was angry at the world.
I sat there and I thought about what I've done, everything, and I was hungry. Yeah.
Aside from the fact that this shows his complete lack of moral conscience and empathy, Scott being hungry after the murder indicates yet again that his only objective in life is to fulfill his own needs. People with severe antisocial personality disorder are not emotionally pained or otherwise affected by inflicting harm on others. Their threshold for feeling emotional pain for another person is very high, and in some cases, such as Scott's, non-existent. Scott ventured to a nearby 7-Eleven and, of all things, he purchased a pizza.
Well, I called it the blood pizza. Okay. Because the reason why I called it that is because I ordered the pizza and I bought a beer with the highest level of grace that I could muster. I was actually proud of what I did.
Oh my god, pizza! I missed the pizza part.
And of all emotional pain for another person is very high, and in some cases, such as Scott's, non-existent. Scott ventured to a nearby 7-Eleven and, of all things,
bloody pizza.
He purchased a pizza.
Well, I called it the blood pizza. Okay. Because the reason why I called it that is because I ordered the pizza and I bought a beer with the highest level of grace that I could muster. I was actually proud of
what the hell is he talking about?
I did. Because of that, after all the years that I've been kicked in the face by the Federal Bureau of Prisons, and all the years that not attaching my colostomy, and
what even is that too? I have so many questions right now.
All the years of getting beat up and tormented and everything, I finally had a certain level of self-respect. I finally made someone pay.
Someone that had nothing to do with it. Well, nobody, of course, deserves this. Or should be targeted, because it's no one's fault but his own. But, like, I can't believe he thinks this way.
And so I took my blood pizza, because somebody died for me to get this pizza. So I walked down, and I'm holding the beer, and I'm walking, and I'm dressed immaculately, because I've washed myself and everything in Publix.
Dressed immaculately. That outfit we were all making fun of him for, he thinks he actually looks good in.
And I'm walking down the street while all these rich people are walking around buying jewelry and they're having their good life and all this stuff and wouldn't give a rat's about me. And so I'm carrying my pizza. Little do these bastards know what I had to do for this friggin' pizza. Yeah. And I walked back up to that gazebo and I ate that pizza, every bite of it, and I enjoyed every damn bite of it. And I really did. And
he killed someone for like a $12 pizza. I know, I'm just thinking, like, imagine this happens to someone you love or someone you care about, and hearing this guy saying all of these things. It's like, how pointless and how sad, like, Just such a tragedy
I
that this
hope.
happened to Jennifer.
My only regret is that I hadn't killed 30 more sons of bitches like her.
It's almost like Scott felt he was one of them for a short time, like he was living a piece of the good life for once. He felt vindicated because, unlike the rest of the Winter Park community, he believed he really earned that beer and pizza. It also seems like Scott was taking pleasure in knowing a secret that the community hadn't yet discovered, one that would frighten them and make them feel like their city wasn't as safe as they thought it was. He enjoys feeling like he took something from the citizens
And
of
that's true. He could have just stolen a pizza, you're right. And then been proud of himself for that. Like, really, is it really worth killing someone?
Winter Park. He stole their peace of mind and burst the bubble they lived in.
Huh? Those are clean. Thank you.
And he seems to like this.
That's what I'm wondering still, too. Where does the boss tie into all of this? Either the boss or someone else is going to come up and there's going to be a major plot twist here. But then again, I don't know. There's only 7 minutes left.
Because he likely feels as if others are sharing in his misery. An utterly chilling account. But clearly, it was all in vain.
You know, this is the evil part of it all. With concern to the, after everything that's been gone on, here I am, I'm back in Winter Park, and nothing's changed.
No.
Okay, I have a couple $100 in my pocket, a girl is dead, and I'm still have complete contempt for Winter Park.
Did it make you feel any better?
No, it didn't make me feel any better, but I just don't understand how things are the way they are.
A truly senseless death, and his motive behind it all was even more shocking. After Scott's gut-wrenching version of the nightmarish day concluded, one of the detectives asked why it was that Scott reached out with his letter and came forward. And as Scott explained it, he wanted his story to be heard. Clearly, he felt he was the victim. He also, quite obligingly, filled in the missing pieces. He hadn't intended for the murder to go unsolved, after all.
I left everything for the law enforcement to find.
Okay.
The knife, I threw that where? About 70 feet from the murder of the body. Yeah, that's a vehicle.
And is that the vehicle that you took that day?
Yep, that's it.
Is that the vehicle that she was in the back of?
Yes.
That day when you were at the house, did you eat any food there or drink any beverages or anything?
I took one beer.
The empty bottle found in Jennifer's car was the one he stole from Reed's home.
And is that the comforter that you took from the,
Yeah, that'd be it.
this picture, this house, does this look familiar?
Yeah, that's it. Who's that? That'd be Jennifer Fulford.
But in stark contrast to how Scott is able to speak of his victim so casually, without so much as a hint of emotion, he can't hide the fury he feels, apparent in his voice as he speaks of the true motive behind the murder. And it's like nothing we've ever heard before.
I was doing really
Huh? Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
well.
Okay.
In society, in the street, I had a
Right.
job. And over there, my probation officer came in and he premeditatedly and deliberately went in to sabotage it and blow it up. So,
Really?
oh, yes, sir. The probation officer did everything he could in his power as a man. He woke up that morning just as premeditated as I did.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew what I was going to do. All right. I needed money.
Okay.
And I did what I had to do to survive.
Okay.
All right. He did what he had to put me in that position.
People with antisocial personality disorder do not take any responsibility for their actions. It's always someone else who caused them to make poor decisions. Maybe Scott felt he would punish the law by breaking the law. He seems to believe that his probation officer had sabotaged his job and source of income, and that these things warranted him committing a crime. In his mind, it's all a conspiracy. Law enforcement decides who will be placed on a path doomed for failure.
They really had a notion in their head that they wanted to destroy this guy, sending him back to prison. I mean, that's what they do. I mean, they have certain individuals. Oh, of course they do. And things started adding up. You know, I had all I could take, and it just something happened to me that I just couldn't take it anymore. I'm hungry. I'm a felon. I'm homeless. I did everything I could to abide by the law. Yeah. They're gonna put me in prison anyway. The bottom line is this, is that my probation department, the feds, they put me in this situation as well as those people, the Federal Bureau of Prisons. I still walk around the closet. Yeah, because of that. Okay? Yeah. You have
Random lady makes no sense. He isn't proving the point that he thinks he is. Exactly. Like, none of this adds up. And he thinks he sounds so smart right now, but he just sounds so dumb.
no idea how sick and evil that
Like,
is
he really thinks he did something.
to do to a man.
However, Scott's assertion that various government agencies were what drove him to murder wouldn't get him very far. He'd said it himself. There was enough forensic evidence to tie him to the murder. The beer bottle contained Scott's DNA. In addition, the white t-shirt, white towel, and watch with the distinctive band that were located in the canvas bag within Jennifer's SUV had been analyzed by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement Forensic Lab. Each item showed visible staining that appeared to be blood, and the stains were confirmed to match both Jennifer's and Scott's DNA profiles.
Is there anybody out there that is looking for someone?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And those are the people I really want to try to help.
Right, I understand.
Despite Scott's claim that he understands, he declines to divulge any additional information, and the interview ends. Whether there's any truth in his assertion remains to be seen, but the idea, as terrifying as it is, could be all too real. We know exactly what Scott is capable of. Before his trial, Scott wrote to the judge and, true to his character, he made even more shockingly selfish statements. In the letter, Scott claimed that he had already admitted to unsolved armed bank robberies and that he promised to divulge information about 8 homicides he committed, ones he has never been caught for. Why would he suddenly give up that crucial information? Well, Scott claimed that since his arrest, he had lost 40 pounds of body weight because he doesn't get enough food in prison.
Oh my God, he's still talking about food.
He made his demands very clear, writing, "I'm starving to death, and I'm asking to be fed more food." That's right. He would admit to 8 murders in exchange for more food in jail. The trial wouldn't take place until late June of 2019, nearly 2 years after Jennifer's brutal murder. Scott elected to testify, likely.
That is so scary to think, like, trials. I mean, I understand why. Like, they always take place so long after the crime happened, but it's just, like, I wonder, how do the victims' families, like, deal with that? It's just so sad.
Against the advice of his attorneys. He told all of the heinous details of Jennifer's last moments. Not surprisingly, he continued to blame his parole officer entirely for Jennifer's death. The idea that justice could truly be served in a case such as this is...
So the boss really was just innocent then? I'm honestly just waiting for it, but look, there's only a few seconds left of this.
...unrealistic. If nothing else, however, Scott didn't receive the sentence to death he'd sought. He was found guilty on all counts, including first-degree murder, and was sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, that's true. So the good thing is he's doing life in prison, and he's not getting all the food he hoped to. He's still uncomfortable, and the boss is innocent. I feel bad for suspecting the boss, but like, that's how they were setting it up to be. And also, how is that the most twisted case you've ever heard? It was awfully sad and awfully tragic, but it was very straightforward. There were no twists and turns. So, I don't know. Huh? You're right. AB said you just got clickbaited, my dude. Oh my gosh. We did. We got clickbaited. But you never know, because, like, sometimes they title it that. Like, the last one, I think, was also called The Most Twisted Case You've Ever Heard. And that one was, like, really twisted. Like, oh my God, I cried through so much. That was just something else. And this was not like that. But it is what it is. I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break. Right back. I will be right back. I can put something while you guys wait. Oh, okay, never mind. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Hello, Twitter world. Yo, it's Truth. Jay Simpson here. How you doing? How you doing? I'm sorry, guys. I really wanted to stream with you tonight, but I don't think I'll be able to. But tomorrow, be back full swing with the both of us. What is up, guys? You. Miss you, beautiful bastard. Um. Yes. What up, though? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Hope you had an amazing time with the fam. Thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's really made me sad when she was leaving today. She kept like, we dropped them off at the airport, and she like would kiss us on the cheek, and then she'd go in and she'd turn around, she'd run back, give us another hug. And like Lena was about to pull off, and she ran up to the door, started knocking on Lena's door. You sound congested? Yeah, I know. I feel like one of the kids may have got me sick. As hard as it was to say goodbye to them, it felt really good to pay for that trip for them, because that's why we're out here. That's why we left home. So bittersweet, but you know, all good. Kendall, thank you for the subby. Hustle hard, play hard when you can. Yeah, hustle hard at or play hard at Disney. Jokes for y'all. Thank you. What's up, Nick? Did you have a favorite part? Huh. I don't know. Every day was so fun. There's a few times when I was just watching my nephew and they were all on rides because I wanted to spend more time with him, or me and Lena would swap off so the parents could enjoy the ride. And I don't know, it was cool. It reminded me so much of like hanging out with his little sister when she was younger, because they look so much and sound so much alike. And his older sister Dahlia was like the first kid in the family that me and Lena were always hanging out with. And it's so sad. I mean, it's so awesome to see her grow up, but it's so sad that she grew up, and that little girl that we always hung out with is older now. But with him, it's like we get a second chance of that because they're so alike, sound so much alike, they look so much alike. But how you guys been? Thank you, Bree. I love that. I feel when I see my younger sister and how she's grown up. Yeah. Did you get her a good wand at Universal? So we didn't have time to go to Oliver's, but I got her her own robe and stitched her name on it. Dude, those bad boys are expensive. Holy shit. You go to both Disney parks. We went to Disney and Universal, but not both Disney parks. It was a lot. It was a lot of walking for the parents and for the kids. You guys are the best auntie and uncle. Thank you. I did not watch that. I heard that. Running out of hangers, people. Guys, make it. What is that? I gave my brother-in-law like a bunch of like clothes that like companies send me that just didn't fit me or just not my style, and I still do not have enough hangers. The big evening show at Disney. Oh no, I missed it. I went to go watch The Lion King. The Lion King show at Disney. Like we ran to it because it was the last showtime of the day. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm watching. Dude, I know The Lion King like the back of my hand. Like that's been my favorite movie since I was a kid. I mean, it's not my favorite movie now, but it's one of my favorite movies. And it was so shitty. First of all, like the concept of like incorporating like the African culture and all that. Love that. That was great. But I don't know. It was hard to follow. It was moving so fast, and the actors. It was a stage performance. They weren't. There was no lions. There was no lions, which is like whatever, but it's a kid show. So I'm promising my nieces like, oh, let's go to this. Let's go to this. You like the Lion King, and there's no fucking lions. What the hell? And my nephew who loves the Lion King, there's no lions. And it was just moving so fast, and like, if I didn't know the story already, I would not be able to keep up with what was going on. And like when Mufasa died, like, don't get me wrong, the voice actors, the singers, all that, they were great. But I don't know, it's just the writing that was shitty, I guess. And the directing, I don't know. They were like when Mufasa dies, that actor who plays Mufasa, he just like steps to the side. He just steps. He turns his back like this, and someone's like, "Oh, my dad died," and he's just standing like this. And I'm like, seriously? Or even this, like the "Remember Who You Are" scene. They didn't have it up. They have so much money. Do some cool visuals and shit on stage. It looked like a screen from the '90s. Very disappointing. The Lions cooked. Yes, I would call that false advertising. Lena, I thought you said 2 minutes. Love the hair. Thank you. I'm getting it cut on Thursday. But I hate that the color like is fading because the sun. I just want my natural hair color. Now it has like a red tint. Yes, lady thinks she's doing there. She's literally right behind me, cutting a kiwi. I hate it too. You should have shaved it. Oh, not the only one. Don't go to Broadway's. No animals there either. Broadway's. Oh, you're saying the Broadway Lion King. I'm sure they do a better job of executing though. Red hair. I saw a commercial for something called 90 Day Universe. I didn't know if that was something new or is that just the name of like all the 90 Day stuff. I gotta look into that. Use brow tinted touch up conditioner. That's a thing. Does that mean it'll have red in it? The MCU of 90 Day? So Cullen Okay, maybe it's not that bad then. I didn't think about the color aspect. Before you cut it, you should shoot Twilight video with a gold eye filter. You should watch Dr. Kirk Honda and LZ90. Oh, that sounds interesting. You counter the red with toner. I think I'm gonna keep it now after talking to you guys. Maybe start wearing like some super white makeup on my face and maybe some gold contacts. I don't know. Maybe great jacket, nice big collar, and drive a bitch ass Volvo. I like the red goes with fall. Gotta go full Joker brain. Where it's laid up. Pumpkin spice AB. Yo, I heard the pumpkin spice latte is coming back. Not that I give a flying fuck, but fall is in the air. I do miss fall in Michigan. Not the same here. Not the same vibe. It's always sunny here. The only time it's not sunny here is when my family comes to visit, because this Saturday was like the worst like weather in like 100 years. You ready?
Yeah, thanks so much.
See you guys. I have not tried Vietnamese coffee. Vietnamese?
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 Yeah.
Know what I mean? I have not tried
Oh,
it.
you end up doing that. You're right. I kept talking about that Vietnamese coffee. I'm back. Thank you all for waiting. Yes, it's bye, AB.
Bye, guys.
I also just want to take a moment to really thank AB for this weekend, because it was seriously so nice having my family here. And yeah, it was just so nice. And if it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for him, because like, of course I would have wanted my family to come, but I never thought like they actually would, because it's been like 3 years now of trying to make it happen. So anyways, AB's the one that actually like took the initiative to look up the flights, coordinate like what time would be work for them or what days, and actually went through with all of it and paid for everything, and it was just so nice. And he made it all happen.
Hey, chat.
And thank you, chat. You're right, AB. I do need to thank chat. You guys did. You guys do make it possible. So thank you so much. I can't tell you guys like how nice this past weekend was, and having them here, and like getting to take them to like Universal and Disney. And otherwise, I don't think they would have gotten the chance to experience that. So thank you. AB saved the day again. Yeah, I know, really. I can't thank him enough. And you guys too. Tell AB about Matrix Brass Off blue shampoo for his hair. Now he needs blue shampoo for his hair? I'm sure it's scary traveling for the first time too. Hope they're more comfortable with the idea of traveling now. Yeah, I think so. It's kind of tough because also like the youngest, Abe, he's he's 2 years old, and even like going through Disney or Universal, like you remember how tough it is having like a young child with you, because you don't do as many of the rides, you don't get around as quickly, and you just have to tend to them so often. But he had so much fun, and I'm so glad all of them did, even though we only did like a few rides, really. I hope he kicked down the door of every ride. Lena and Chap, you love your true crime, Sins of Our Mother or Murdoch Murders, both on Netflix. So good. About, thank you. Actually, someone recommended that first one earlier, and then Murdoch Murders we watched. We saw that, and that was insane. What is that? Oh, this is something EB got from Disney. You care to share?
It's a kind of a, it's a kind of a weak ass lightsaber, but I wasn't gonna buy the kids lightsabers, and I had one myself to fight with him there, so I spent think 20 or 30 bucks on this for no reason other than to fight with them at Disney.
And they loved it. And then this is, you tell them about the robe for Dahlia? This is her in her Harry Potter robe.
And I walked around with it all day on my hip. Like this. And I kept catching myself by accident, putting my hand on it.
Yeah, he was walking around like that. Look how cute the picture. Even got her name on it too, embroidered. Yeah, she's a Gryffindor. That's what she says. Oh, today Ahsoka comes out. Interesting. Oh, what? This. Okay. Oh my God, this is. Okay, this is kind of interesting. I just came across this and it's not particularly true crime, but it's the Kim and versus Kanye, the divorce. And I'm kind of curious to see all the details that goes into that. So I don't know, let's just start it and then we'll get into a different case. Let me know what you guys think. I've never seen the tape and nor do I care to. But I guess that was it. Oh, the maybe not though. Maybe that's not the best idea actually. Hey guys. The brand really was built around Kim. Yeah, but it chat says AB thoughts. But I mean, Kim wanted to be famous from an early age. That video was actually so cute of her saying that. Glad you're recording me because I'm gonna be famous one day, and you're gonna look back at this. But yeah, sounds like their mom had plans from even before that to build this like family brand. Okay. Oh my god, yeah, whatever happened to Rob? I just feel bad for Rob being an avid watcher. I never actually watched, but I know that he used to be a lot more involved. That is really sad. Oh, sorry, Leisha, I missed what you said. I post what on the Discord. Oh my god, I hate when Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. He was talking about oh, a really good analysis of the Jenner clan as a narcissistic family group. The frame did not start with the tape. It started with the OJ trial. Oh, here is the Discord. Everybody. In it. Kim would have never gotten the job with Paris without the OJ trial. I was wondering about that too. She had to have been somebody to get that job in the first place. Let me see. There's so many videos, actually. I don't know. Yeah, actually, Chris was friends with OJ's wife, I believe. But anyways, this is called... I don't know which one of these videos would be good. Good to see about that. Yeah, I was talking to her earlier. They landed. Hi, Beetlebugs. Welcome. Okay. Maybe this? This is called Filthy Rich and Dirty Money, the Kardashian Cult Theory.
This video is sponsored by Atlas VPN.
Without a string, without a hidden handler, a puppet has no personality.
How to take the perfect selfie. Does everyone get a tape of this? Because I hope you do so you can see me when I'm famous and older and remember me. You need to leave her alone. She's fine. She's a human being. Leave her alone.
She loves taking pictures, yo. Tell her, Cam, you love taking pictures.
The money and the fame and all that stuff has just turned this woman into a monster.
If someone says no, you're talking to the wrong person.
The commitment that you give to that dream, that decision that you've made, I'm going after the win.
Just do it.
You have exploded in popularity. World domination next? I mean, what is it going to be?
Maybe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We've come to a point where streamers are making $16,000 in just 7 hours for live streaming themselves sleeping overnight. Being famous for being famous has never been easier, but it all comes at a cost, an addiction to clout chasing and dirty money. For today's video, I'll be using the Kardashians as a perfect example by exploring how they've manipulated the world and the media to build their empire. And what most of us don't realize is that this is all orchestrated at a much higher level by
I love how they're comparing it to the Truman Show.
Powerful, corrupted people. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I make commentary and lifestyle videos. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification button down below so you don't miss out on any of my videos. If you haven't watched the part 1 to this video, I would highly recommend watching that before this one. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
Keeping up with Kim Kardashian is becoming a national obsession.
Whether you like them or not, you cannot dispute the fact that they are now probably the biggest name in pop culture.
Can't wait to see you coming!
We end up sleeping in an elevator shaft. These people slept on the sidewalk hoping to see Kylie Jenner.
I haven't drank water, I haven't bathed, I've been sleeping on the floor.
People that aren't
Oh my god, all of this for Kylie.
here or don't know the Kardashians are not living their life perfectly because they're just a good family.
I love her because she's beautiful and she just made something out of nothing.
The Kardashians are my church, they're my God.
The Kardashian family has been referred to as
What's happening?
Yeah, this fucking Ahmad is being arrested. God, man.
As the American royal family, they've played a big role in shaping contemporary pop culture. When we start to realize how filthy rich and famous the Kardashians are, it really begs the question, what exactly is their talent?
You don't really act. You don't sing. You don't dance. You don't have any, forgive me, any talent.
But we're still entertaining people.
Kendall Jenner. I'm not exactly sure what she does.
What's your talent?
It is a talent to have a brand that's really successful off of getting people to like you for you.
Hi, I'm Kim Kardashian West, and I'm gonna give you a little tutorial on how to take the perfect selfie.
You know, I work so hard.
We work a lot. I'm truly a workaholic.
I work 24/7, do the work, and be authentic about it.
What they do is called glamour labor. Their hard work is getting paid millions of dollars to post toxic products on Instagram.
Anyways, guys, I think I'm just gonna end now. I'm gonna post the link to this video in case you want to finish it. It did seem really interesting. In the Discord. Yeah. I'm gonna post it in the Lena Stream Talk channel. Get your effing ass up and work. Yes, thanks, Katie. Bye, Lena, I just got here. Oh no. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm gonna end now. But thank you guys all so much for being here. I know maybe I don't know. Sorry to cut it short like that, but I will see you guys next time. Tomorrow, actually. Me and Abby will probably be streaming together, so I will see you there. I posted, oh, actually, maybe I'll share the link in here too if you guys want to go check that out.
Guys,
This is
tomorrow, sorry we couldn't stream.
Bye, guys. We love you too.